celebrated the Citizen of the Year and the Inspiration Awards. 2021 has been full of ups and downs, but it has also been another year of inspiration in our community. Take a look around the room and you will see so many people that have inspired others in our community, such as John Heath and our Counselors Collaboration Group, and our Citizen of the Year, Dan Hofler. I'm so proud to be a part of the Batavia Chamber and the Board of Directors, and I would like to take a moment to recognize the Chamber board members and staff. So as I say your name, please stand up. Donna Bucko, Jamie Sam, Amanda Slayer, George Gladys, Samantha Bell, Phil Bukowski, Nick Neindorf, Jessica McGraw, Christopher Rooney, Michael Rosotto, Dr. Lisa Hitchens, and Allison Niamella. And then don't forget our wonderful staff, Margaret, Patty, and Shirley. Thank you guys. Got it?
Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I want to give a big shout out to the Batavia Community Band. Was that not wonderful? Does anybody know what Mozart is doing right now? I hear he's decomposing. Too soon. Sorry. Tonight is the night that we honor the individuals and community organizations that make our town exceptional. We acknowledge the remarkable economic growth of our community by recognizing the Ole Award recipients, organizations that have invested directly in the community and have improved Batavia's economic vitality through new construction and significant remodeling. We get to show our appreciation tonight to our terrific Chamber Ambassador of the Year, Jenny Zach, and we get to appreciate Aaron Klutz and the members of the Batavia Counselors Collaboration for their great work they have done. The highlight of the evening is the recognition of one of our fellow citizens for his extraordinary contributions to life in Batavia. Dan Hofler fully exemplifies the nature and spirit of the award he will be presented this evening. In addition, this event allows us to get together and enjoy the presence of Batavia's greatest people all in one place. I would like to echo Jen's sentiment about the amazing board of directors the Chamber is blessed with. I'm truly thankful for their efforts and their commitment. Shirley Mott and Patty Anselmi, my partners in crime, I want to thank them. They are truly wonderful to work with, and they smile with all they do. Thank you. An organization such as the Chamber cannot possibly prosper without the dedication and support of our volunteers. I would like to acknowledge the members of the following groups and recognize contributions to the Chamber: Inspire and Ole Committee, Golf Committee, Harvest Celebration Committee, Finance Committee, Scholarship Committee, Ambassador Committee, as well as members of the Batavia Women's and Business Council. Thank you all for your commitment to the Chamber's success and our local business community. Before I go on, I do want to remind you, put your meal ticket in front of you so that they know which meal you selected this evening. And if you do not have a meal ticket, that means that you selected chicken, so the staff is well aware. Did that clarify some questions out there? Good. I would like to express our gratitude and recognize tonight's sponsors. This evening would not be possible without the support of the fine organizations that sponsored this event. I would like to acknowledge the presenting sponsor, City of Batavia. Our supporting event sponsor, Waubonsee Community College. I have a long list, so we'll hold the applause till the end. I would like to appreciate our tribute sponsors, Crosstown Pub and Grill, The Landings, Cabot Properties. Our champagne sponsor of the evening is my friends at the Batavia Rotary Club. Our centerpiece sponsor is sponsored by Cast Aluminum Solutions and Weedy Corp. Our dinner sponsors is sponsored by Chicago Export Importers, State Street Jewelers, Comfort Inn and Suites, and United Safety Transfer. Our bar sponsors are Drendel and Jansen's, AAA Tree Service, Earth Mover Credit Union, Advanced Windows and Siding, and Alarm Detections. Our dessert sponsors are Accurate Door, Kuhn Counseling, and the Batavia Business Exchange. Tonight our entertainment sponsor is Covenant Living at the Homestead, and our photography is provided by Katie O'Brien Photography. I want to thank Lincoln Inn for hosting us this evening. I would like to thank Andrew Shones of Both And Pictures for creating the individual Oli Award videos that you will see soon. I also want to give a special thank you to Patrick Moynihan of Waveform. He's done our video production and is our AV provider this evening. Thank you to BATV for recording the event. Also a shout out to the Jazzeros for the musical entertainment provided this evening. Last but not least, I would like to thank Scott Salvati, who will be emceeing the event in a few minutes. We have showstoppers planned throughout tonight's evening, and this one I'm excited to unveil. The Batavia Chamber's mission is to advocate for, build relations with, and educate the Batavia business community. While our focus is the business community, we know our work ultimately supports the community at large. I am thrilled to announce tonight that the Chamber is establishing a Community Impact Fund. This fund will be set up through the Community Foundation of the Fox River Valley to help nonprofit and business initiatives in our area. The Chamber has pledged $75,000 in funds with the goal of using matching grants of an additional $25,000 from the Community Foundation to total $100,000 to the community by the end of the year. These funds will support projects and programs through our nonprofit partners to make Batavia a greater and grander place. The Chamber is proud of this Community Impact Fund, which will continue our positive influence into the future. A shout out to the Finance Committee, steered by Nick Neindorf, George Gladys, Amanda Slayer, Jen Bruns, and Jessica McGrail. Stick around following the award presentation this evening to socialize with our award winners and enjoy the music from the Jazzeros before the music ends. Now I would like to introduce our favorite MC in Batavia. You may recognize him as the Masters of Ceremony for many events in the area, including Inspire 2014, Inspire 2015, Inspire 2016, Inspire 2017, and you get it, and so on and so on. Just so you know, Scott does not suffer from insanity. He enjoys every minute of it. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Scott Salvati.
Thank you, Margaret. How's everybody doing tonight? That's weak. How's everybody doing tonight? Better, thank you. So good evening and welcome to the 2022 Inspire Awards featuring the 2021 Oli and 21 Batavia Citizen of the Year. My name is Scott Salvati. And I'll be your host this evening. I own Lighthouse Marketing Services, and it's an honor to be here again. So given that Margaret decided to go wander down the dad joke avenue, I'm gonna see it and raise it. Okay? I got two. Mr. Heath, I'm sorry. What's the difference between a conductor and God? God doesn't think he's a conductor. Now this is for the band. How can you tell if a singer's at your door? They can't find the key and don't know when to come in. Dun-dun-dun. Music people get that. Okay, enough of the dad jokes. We're gonna start getting into the program, but first, the first thing we're gonna do, if you haven't already started lifting a glass, which I know many of you have, we're gonna start with our toast with Tom Van Lunen. So it's my privilege to introduce Tom, who was our Citizen of the Year in 2014, and will provide the toast for tonight. And there he is. Come on up, Tom.
Thank you, Scott. I have to tell you that I'm a little disappointed. I thought this was an Inspire Awards night, and it seems like it's Comedy Club tonight. Anyway, service above self. That's the motto of Rotary. It is appropriate that the Rotary Club of Batavia is the sponsor for the Champagne Toast, honoring Batavia's Citizen of the Year. A community, defined in its simplest terms, is a group of people who have something in common. In real life, it's more complex than that. Each member, every individual, group, organization, and business draws benefits from the community in many different ways. For a community to thrive, each of the members must honor a commitment to contribute to the well-being of the whole by returning those benefits in kind. The awards presented here tonight, the Oli Awards, the Chamber Ambassador of the Year, the Spirit of Batavia Award, the Community Impact Award, and most importantly, the Citizen of the Year Award, inspire us to do more to be proud of our community of Batavia. Dan, where are you? I know you're somewhere. There he is. May your inspiration and contributions to the community of Batavia continue, and by your example, inspire others to service above self. And so, join me to Dan Hoffler, Batavia's 2021 Citizen of the Year.
Keep clicking. Thank you, Tom. As usual, a great toast. So I'm going to introduce the concept of the Olis. For those that don't know, these were started in 1976 by Phil Elfstrom to commemorate the Scandinavian carpenters, craftsmen, and cabinet makers who helped build Batavia. Elfstrom came up with the idea saying it was a Swedish thing. This award would be given to those organizations or companies that reflected the excellence that went into building our community. You're going to hear that a lot tonight, excellence and community. That's kind of a common thread here in our town. So for over 40 years, we've been giving out Olis to those businesses or organizations that have completed either new construction or building renovations here in Batavia. Olis are given in two categories, commercial construction and industrial construction. The categories are defined by the City of Batavia's zoning codes, and if there are questions on said zoning codes, the mayor is sitting right over there. He happens to have the entire zoning code memorized and all ordinances. Or I think he does too. That was part of the initiation, right? You had to memorize? Yeah. Okay. The recipient for each category should be that business or organization whose investment enhances the city's economic and aesthetic future and provides interest and excitement for the entire community. In any given year, as many as 8 awards are available. However, the awards are for significant investment, and in many years, fewer than 4 awards may be given. So nominations for these are submitted to the Chamber's Oli Committee, which will then make recommendations to the Chamber Board of Directors based on the following criteria: investor risk inherent in the project, potential return of the investment to the local economy, which is community ROI, and perceived aesthetic value. The awards are determined by a vote of the board, and in case of a tie, 2 awards will be given. Before we give each of our 7 winners their respective awards, we're going to tell you a little bit of their story so you have a better idea who they are and what role they play here in Batavia. Here's a video, and I'm not forgetting to introduce it this time, that recaps the Oli and what it means to Batavia.
You know, one of Batavia's really strong points is its unique history. And it's the buildings, It's the layout of the town, and it's all the stories of the buildings.
We moved out here really not knowing a whole lot about Batavia. The opportunity to buy a business, see its potential for growth, the reputation it had. It's just a great environment with all the amenities that we have throughout town, from the Riverwalk that we helped build back in the 90s to the boardwalk shops which we're standing on now. It's just fun. It's just fun.
Batavia has become a really great hub of businesses of all sizes. The Ole Awards are a partnership between the Chamber of Commerce and the City of Batavia as a way to honor businesses in our community who have made an extra investment in their property, in their building, to improve not only for themselves but for the community.
The Ole Award was created in 1976 by a group of Batavia residents. Peg Bond was chairman of the Batavia Plan Commission. She was also a professor at Northern Illinois University Department of Art. Peg got the idea that we ought to do something to kind of award art and carpentry and the old Swedish craftsmen. Many of them's last name ended in S-O-N or S-E-N that we had in town that had come here and built much of the community.
The Ole Award comes in a variety of levels. It is a commercial property award, so they focus on out in our industrial areas, our Randall Road corridor, as well as our downtown properties.
This started out as basically honoring commercial businesses in the downtown, but to the credit of the Chamber, they've made motions and efforts over the years to enlarge the Ole Award so you qualify some of the newer construction, some of the newer industrial folks. We've kind of mixed the new and the old.
Back in the early 90s, part of our responsibilities as board members were to pick an Ole Award, and learning what it was all about then was rather interesting. Of course, from Mayor Selke's perspective, you learn a lot.
And then Phil found out that the Batavia Foundry and Machine, owned and operated by the Peterson family, he got them to make a mold and make an actual pour of an award.
Just receiving that award was an honor to be recognized by the Chamber. You support the Chamber in any way you can, and this is a little bit of return back to the businesses. It's a nice recognition, it really is.
The investment that businesses make in their property or property owners make in their building helps inspire other property owners and business owners and building owners to make those improvements as well. You don't want to be the only business on the block that doesn't look good. So when your neighbor makes that improvement, you're inspired to do so as well. Clean up your property, make it better for your employees, make it better for your neighbors. And then overall, it makes an economic improvement by increasing the property value. It's beneficial to the entire community. I think that the businesses who receive the Ole Awards, they find pride in it, that somebody recognized the improvement they made in our community. You walk into some of these businesses and you see the plaques hanging on the walls right when you walk into their main entryway, which shows that they appreciate that recognition of the improvement and the dollars that they spent in our community.
Our awards are displayed in an area outside our bowling counter, ticket booth. The improvements that we did are just part of the process of any business owner. If you don't improve, you go home. The Ole Award just goes above and beyond that. They recognize that what you've done really means something.
The Ole Award encapsulates, the old-time designs and the old-times craftsmanship. And that's something that's unique unto itself, but it also now pays tribute to what's been done to change the building to make it more usable in a modern setting, that it allows people to appreciate the history and the heritage of a building, but also begin to dream and understand and remodel to put it into a place where it will serve the community in a very positive way in the future.
The Ole Award is based on physical improvements that the businesses make, but it also creates community pride. When the community is aware of businesses making that improvement, it gives me pride, and it should give everyone else pride that that business chose to make that investment for a reason, because they love the Batavia community. So as a community member, that should give you a strength in knowing you made the right choice in living here and choosing to support those businesses because they chose to make that investment.
So here are how the awards are going to work tonight. We're going to introduce each awardee with a video about their organization. Then we're going to ask the person or people representing that organization to come up after the video and accept the award and have a glamour shot done by Katie O'Brien. Katie, where are you? There you are. Great. In the events, given recent events, in the event that I happen to offend anyone this evening, in any way, I ask that you please refrain from coming up and slapping me. You can just go outside and wait in line with everybody else and kick my butt at the end of the night. So, just want to get that out there, because I won't handle it like Chris Rock did. Okay. All right. First winner tonight in new construction is in the industrial section is Cabot Properties. Roll that video.
Good afternoon. My name is John Happ, and I am here on behalf of Cabot Properties to accept the OLI Award from the Batavia Chamber of Commerce for Industrial New Construction, which is located at 1252 Pearson here in Batavia. Founded in 1986 and headquartered in Boston, Cabot Properties is a private real estate investor, developer, and operator of logistics properties in world-class cities. Cabot has owned and operated over 200 million square feet worldwide, including over 1 million square feet here in Batavia. The building behind me, located at 1252 Pearson, consists of 207,000 square feet of Class A industrial space on just over 11 acres. Shell complete in Q4 of 2021, the building is 100% leased to a full building user. Dedicated to finding the best-in-class locations, this property in Batavia was ideal given its proximity to I-59, the I-88 corridor, the Geneva Metro, and the DuPage County Airport. This project could not have been made successful without the hard work and dedication from all parties involved, especially the City of Batavia and our partner, Northern Builders. We thank all of those that made this project a success, and we thank the City of Batavia for this award.
Accepting tonight for Cabot is Jonathan Happ. Jonathan, come on up. The paparazzi corner. Okay. All right, so I'm going to fill in. So between awardees, I'm going to be talking a little bit about things that we've got coming up. And tonight we have our Inspire Scholarship Program, which is kind of our one fundraising effort for the evening. So we're going to do a paddle race tonight. Marty, I'm expecting big things out of you. So this is the third year offering our Inspired scholarships, and to date we've awarded 12 different student scholarships with money that we have raised to help them continue their educational journey. These 4 scholarships are the Inspiring Women in Business, Inspiring Career and Technical Achievers, Inspiring Entrepreneurship, and Inspiring Contributors to a Batavia Chamber Business. So please help these scholarships this evening by participating in the paddle race later. This is the only fundraising effort for tonight, and we appreciate your support. So that's coming up after the Olis. Our second winner this evening in new construction commercial is The Landings.
My name is Brian Nabel. I'm the Executive Director of The Landings in Batavia. Our address is 2450 West Fabian Parkway. The Landings is a senior living community consisting of independent living, assisted living, and assisted living memory care. So the Landing consists of 142 apartments. There are 3 floors and also a ground floor. Of the 142 apartments, they all have balconies and a lot of great common area space, including a pub, a bistro, a game room with pool table, shuffleboard, have a movie theater, private dining room, various activity rooms. We have a fitness center and also a cardio fitness room, indoor parking, garden area. On behalf of the Landings, the residents, the employees, and their families, I want to thank the Batavia Chamber for this honor of the OLI Awards, and look forward to working with the Village of Batavia for many years to come.
All right, so Brian Neville, who was supposed to come up, apparently he's shooting a feature-length film in Morocco right now, right? So coming up is Nikki Hyatt is coming up to accept the award. Okay, while they're accepting, we're going to talk about our first scholarship, which is the Inspiring Women in Business Scholarship. The Batavia Chamber nurtures an environment of success for all individuals. The females make up nearly half of the workforce population. Women are statistically underrepresented in management and leadership roles in the field of business. The Batavia Chamber has established a scholarship to reward a female high school student interested in a business major to encourage more females to pursue these fields. The Chamber will award a scholarship to a female graduating BPS senior who plans on attending a 2 to 4 year college or university. That's coming up. Our next winner in the commercial remodeling category is Giabella Designs.
My name is Jill Equi. I'm the owner of Giabella Designs here in Batavia. We're located at 11 North Batavia Avenue. I started out in Geneva, and then when COVID happened, unfortunately, we had to find a different location. We worked with Batavia Enterprises. They brought us here and showed us the space. The floors were covered with carpeting, and when we picked up the carpeting, we saw that there was actual original flooring underneath. So we restored that, and then with the help of Batavia Enterprises, we carried it through to each room and knocked down the wall, expanded. Giabella Designs is an artisan market, so we like to support small businesses that are local in town that handmake items. We offer home decor, jewelry, clothing, and my specialty is the candle making. We like to invite people in to make their own specific candle that is unique to them. I just want to say thank you to the Batavia Chamber for the Ole Award. It is an honor to have been chosen for this award, and we appreciate it very much.
Accepting tonight for Giabella is Jill Equi. And to be honest, how many times have we heard, well, I started out in Geneva, but then once I went to Batavia, you know. Story we hear it all the time. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Inspiring Career and Technical Achiever Scholarship. Many manufacturers, industrial, and trades businesses are valued members of the Chamber and express a need for hiring qualified candidates. The Batavia Chamber has established a scholarship to reward a high school student interested in a trade or career in manufacturing to pursue those positions. The Chamber will award a scholarship to a graduating BPS high school student who plans on attending a 2-year school technical training or certificate program. It's awesome. Okay, moving on to our fourth winner in commercial remodeling is Tuffy Tire and Auto Service.
Hi, I'm John from Tuffy Auto Service Center in Batavia, Illinois. We're at 301 South Randall Road, just south of the intersection of Randall Road and Main Street. So basically, we've been in Batavia as Tuffy Auto Service Center for the last 20 years, and we had an opportunity to expand by moving next door in the old Discount Tire building. And when we saw the opportunity arose, we definitely, after 20 years, took advantage of it, so now we can continue to keep growing for the next 20 years. The difference between the two buildings is for the most part, we went from having 5 functional bays to now we have 8 functional bays. A lot more seating, a lot more area in the waiting room, and we even have a golf course. We started off as an undercarriage type business in early 2001. And over time it evolved with just through our experiences and our customers' needs that we do everything full service as far as brakes, suspension, oil changes, something as simple as changing a turn signal bulb. We do engine work, tune-ups, any type of repair that's necessary. On behalf of myself and Tuffy Auto Service Center in Batavia, I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce and all of the members for voting for us to be the newest Ole winner in the Batavia area. Thank you.
Is John Payaskawi. Did I murder that? Tell me I didn't murder that. Did I? That was even given me phonetically. Wow. Okay. John, quick question. Are you accepting tee times for your golf course? Okay. Perfect. Outstanding. All right. We're going to move on to our Inspiring Entrepreneurship Scholarship. So the Chamber promotes an environment that creates success for local businesses to advance and prosper in our vibrant community. The Chamber supports new businesses to open in town and to increase Batavia's economic viability. This scholarship is to reward a student who has interest in starting a business to encourage consideration to locate in Batavia someday. The Chamber will award a scholarship to a graduating BPS senior who plans on attending a 2 or 4 year college or university. Okay, OLI winner number 5 in the commercial category for remodeling, Windmill Grill and Pizzeria.
My name is Zimmy. We're at the Windmill Grill and Pizzeria at 90 North Island Avenue in Batavia. So when we took over this restaurant, we started with a complete remodel. Started with the back of the kitchen and started with a complete remodel back there, and then slowly moved to the front with a new design, new kind of more modern family casual atmosphere. We specialize in our pasta dishes and our pizzas. We offer $10 pasta dishes on Wednesday, pizzas on Tuesdays, ribs on Thursdays, and fish fry on Fridays. I want to thank the Batavia Chamber for the OLI Award. We appreciate their support. Thank you so much.
There she comes. And if you haven't been, you need to go. Very good food. Delicioso. Yes. Okay. The last scholarship for our scholarships tonight is the Inspiring Contributors to Batavia Chamber of Business. The Batavia Chamber supports the businesses that invest in our town and provide employment opportunities to our students. The Batavia Chamber has established a scholarship to reward a high school student for working for Batavia Chamber Business in Batavia during high school. The Chamber will award a scholarship to a graduating BPS high school student that has worked at a Batavia Chamber Business for more than 1 year during high school and plans on attending a 2 or 4 year college or university. Winner number 6 in the commercial arena, remodeling. Okay, I need a ruling on how we pronounce this. Wilson Street Mercantile or Mercantile? Mercantile, I'm sorry, I'm classy. I said Mercantile. Pat said Mercantile. Wilson Street Mercantile.
I'm Susie Ray. I'm Jenny Zilke.
I'm Kelly Desmond.
We own the Wilson Street Mercantile at 222 East Wilson in Batavia. So we are 4 individual shops that met doing the Batavia Boardwalk shops in spring 2020, and we decided in winter 2021 to open a permanent location together.
This house was originally built in the 1890s, and when we moved in, we painted all the walls, we made each room our own. The landlord put down brand new flooring for us, and he kind of spiffed up the outside for us and made it look really nice. We love the character in this building, and it fits our businesses perfectly.
Inside the Mercantile, there's Light and Pine Collective, Desmond Brown, the Unborn Granola, and Lillian Pie. So it's a mixture of candy and gourmet granola, some home goods, handmade candles, handmade pillows.
We'd like to say thank you so much to the Chamber for the OLI Award. We're really honored to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Accepting tonight for the Wilson Street Mercantile, Jenny Zelke, Suzanne Ray, Kelly Desmond, and Max Baum. So I have a note that where I'm supposed to provide witty banter because we're out of scholarships. So I decided to take upon myself. First, does anybody know what the Bears traded into the first round tonight? Did they? Or did they just hold that? Okay, maybe not. All right, so, but speaking of Bears, I have a new addition to my household as of 3 weeks ago. I'd like to introduce Theodore Beloved Salvati, if you look on the screen, also known as Teddy Bear Salvati. Yeah, he's all that. We're very proud and we're very tired because he is literally a newborn. Okay, enough cuteness.
My name's Jim Allborn, President and CEO of Suncast Corporation.
This is for our
we're here at our facility in Batavia, Illinois.
We
do manufacturing and distribution It's 1.1 million square feet under roof. We have it powered by solar. So Suncast has been in Batavia since 1984. Our founder and owner, Executive Chairman Tom Tisbo, he found this piece of property back out then. It was a former muffler manufacturer. He brought his one product, the first ever all resin hose reel, the Hose Mobile, and he bought 5 machines and the company was born from there. So Suncast is the market leader of everything resin made or based that you use outside the home. It would include sheds, deck boxes, outdoor storage type items. We sell our products at 25,000 retail stores across the US, and you can find our products online, any major retailer. So Suncast is a big believer in sustainability. We have branded it Brilliant by Design. So we're taking the brilliance of the sun, converting it to energy and using it to make our products. Our products are made partly from recycled material, but they're 100% recyclable end of life. We purposely use multi-use resin in all of our products so they can be recycled either locally or sent back here to Suncast, and we'll make another product out of it. So with that sustainability initiative, Brilliant by Design is part of our strategic objectives. We're going to add solar power where we could. We started here on this building, and we'll have all of our buildings in Batavia solar powered by the end of 2022. This array actually is celebrating its 1-year anniversary in 2 weeks. Over that last year, we have saved the equivalent of planting 12,835 trees worth of energy is what we produce from this array. It partially powers our manufacturing here. So as part of our sustainability initiatives, we want to be zero waste to landfill. We recycle 100% of our resin, 100% of our scrap steel. We bale up all of our scrap corrugated and sell it onto a recycler. 100% of our shrink wrap and everything that we consume inside of our manufacturing gets properly recycled. We'll be zero waste to landfill this year, 2022. Very proud of that. On behalf of Suncast Corporation, I'd like to thank the City of Batavia for the Green Oli Award. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it.
She's from the Batavia Environmental Commission. Well done, thank you. Discuss amongst yourselves. Congratulations. Okay, so we have another new scholarship tonight. So you've heard our first one that Margaret was talking about, the Community Impact Fund, which is awesome. So we have another one that we want to introduce. It's called Grow Your Business Scholarship. So one of Batavia's the Chamber's roles is to be a catalyst for business prosperity and to stimulate and enhance the economic viability and growth in the community. We're excited to announce a partnership with the Fox Valley Entrepreneurship Center for a brand new scholarship exclusively available for members of the Chamber. So I'd like to bring up John Kranak of Existence Creative and a board member for the FVEC to introduce this great program.
Thank you, everybody. Too bad he took my Chris Rock joke. That was going to be mine, but he already stole it. Just so you guys know, this is an exciting partnership that we're unveiling today between the FVEC and the Batavia Chamber of Commerce. What we do is, this is a partnership between the SBDC and the FVEC as well, because without all these organizations coming together, we can't help all these businesses grow in this community. So the FVEC, if you guys don't know about it, it's a nonprofit organization that has a group of members that are advisors and entrepreneurs and other business owners in the area that they just want to help other businesses out, so they volunteer and they donate their time. The organization, it's made up of men and women that want to give back to their community at all the times, and we just want to see other businesses grow. Some of the other businesses that the FVEC has helped in the past that are from Batavia are Gun Barrel Coffee, Energy City Brewing, and the Prairie Wellness Counseling Center. All those businesses went through the FVEC program to grow their business. So we're excited today. In your pamphlets, everyone got one of these sheets here. And if you're currently a Batavia Chamber member, you can just use this QR code to scan it. And once you scan this QR code with your phone, you can go there and apply today to become one of the people in this program. Also, if you're not a member, or you want to share this with somebody to have them become a member, this is what you do. Give them this flyer, bring it to them. Say this can help you out, because what they want to do is they want to get you in this program and they want to help you grow your business. So check it all out. If you have any questions, you can ask Margaret, you can contact the FEC, but go here, check it out, and start growing your business. All right, thank you.
Let's just sum that up. They're giving 2 of these away, right? $10,000 each. That's some decent jack, right? So I know that they're still working on dates for applications and all that, but I mean, if you use $10,000, I'm assuming to help you. That would be good, right? Just saying, thinking out loud. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Okay, definitely weird. All right, so we're at our paddle raise portion of the evening. So that's this thing right here. All right. So for those unfamiliar with how a paddle raise works, you grab your paddle and you raise it. Just like that. Yeah. $5,000. Perfect. Thank you. Outstanding. Write them down. So tonight, we're really trying to raise some money for our students, and the goal is $10,000. So now we could cut right to it, and if everyone just dropped a C note into the offering plate as it went around, we'd be good. But we really like awkward drama, so we're going to start with. Oh, we do have a video. Do we have a video? I haven't supposed to video again.
Hi, I'm Priya Dave, and next year I will be attending Northwestern University in the fall to pursue a double major in both business and biomedical engineering, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I was awarded the Women in Business Scholarship, and I'm planning on attending Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee next year to pursue a degree in music business. So with that, I want to work in the music industry, obviously, and hopefully one day own my own record label. So that's a goal that I'm working towards. And it means a lot to be given the scholarship from the Batavia businesses, because I've worked for a couple different Batavia businesses, and learning from the women in Batavia has been a huge part of me growing into what I want to do. So it means a lot to get the scholarship. So thank you guys so much.
I'm Ellie Ditchman. I was awarded the Technical Award, and I'm going to Ferris State University right outside of Grand Rapids to study manufacturing engineering. And I really like this award because it really supports like what I'm doing, because like as a girl in manufacturing, it is not very widely supported. So it's kind of scary stepping into this field, but I'm really excited, definitely with like you guys' support and everything like that.
My name is Sasha, and I earned the Inspiring Entrepreneur Scholarship. My plans are to attend Iowa State University for interior design. And this scholarship means a lot to me because one day I would love to start my own interior design business. And I think it'd be super cool to start it here in Batavia. So this scholarship just means a lot because it's just great to have the support that it provides and to know that Batavia is here for me.
Okay, so you heard from them. College is not cheap, right? It's not. So anything helps. So we want to be able to send some of these kids off to school with a little bit of a head start. So we're going to start raising some money here. We're going to go through a couple rounds, maybe 4, and we're going to start with 750, the heavy hitters of the world. So who would like to raise their paddle for $750, and I'm going to shame you into doing it. So I know some of you got some walking around money, so let's get 750. Who's going to raise? I got one right here. Very nice. I got 2. Otherwise, we'll charge you twice. Any more for $750?
Get up those gift cards.
And everyone gets a puppy, like the one I showed you on the screen. Actually, that's actually a going away gift for everybody tonight. If you give. If not, no puppy. Maybe that might not be a selling point. Yeah. Okay, maybe fives. Sure. Right. Any more? We got another week. Thank you very much. $750. Any more, please? $750?
Get them out, girls.
$750. $749. No, okay. So we're going to go to our next round of $500. Anyone for $500, please write. We've got one right here. Thank you, sir. We got another one over there. We got another one over there. Nice. Keep them up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 500. Do I hear anyone else for 500? 500. That's what the Bears record is going to be this year. 500. Anyone? Bueller. 500. Come on. No? Okay. Our next tier is $250. Got one right over here. $250, please. Who's going to see that? I've got a few. Here we go. Keep them up, please. Thank you very much. $250. Keep 250. Keep them raised, please. Thank you so much. Got everybody recorded? Okay, we good? Okay, unless anyone wants to throw down $250. No? Yes? No? Maybe so. Okay. Last one. Last round. This is the shame round. $100. $100. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. $100. My puppy thanks you. Keep your paddles raised, please, so we can get your numbers recorded. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity.
I was there on Saturday with Brian. Next Saturday, Saturday after that. First two Saturdays of
Hold on. We have an announcement. Outstanding. I would let you slap me twice. It is. It's for the children. Okay. Unexpected and very generous. Thank you so much, Bob. Thank you. You know, we end up maybe at the end of the night.
I have my girlfriend on her farm.
Okay, so we'll get you whatever you committed to as you walk out. We'll settle up as you guys leave tonight. So our next segment for this evening is the Spirit of Batavia Award. And this award goes to an organization that exemplifies the wonderful things that Batavia stands for. And we want to recognize that. And it's interesting, I was having a discussion with the mayor earlier this evening. And he says he gets calls from other mayors of other cities asking, what happens in Batavia? What is it about Batavia that makes us Batavia? And if you don't got it, you just don't got it, right? We do. And this award is one of the things that exemplifies what it is to be part of Batavia. So tonight we're going to recognize, first we're going to have a video, but we're going to recognize the Batavia Community Band. So let's roll that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And as you heard, my name is John Heath, and I'm the director of the Batavia Community Band. On behalf of the entire Batavia Community Band, I would like to thank the Batavia Chamber of Commerce and all those kind people who nominated us for this wonderful award. When looking back over the past recipients of the Spirit of Batavia Award, the Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry and Clothes Closet, Chips In, Batavia United Way, the Batavia Rotary Club, and the Batavia Access Toy Committee. We are humbled to be in the company of such great organizations that make so many significant contributions to the Batavia community and beyond. What we do all have in common is the ability to lift people's spirits and to help all of our community members feel like they are part of something bigger than themselves. Music has always had the power to bring people together, to build community, and to touch people's souls, which makes us all feel connected and loved. Our band is made up of members from all walks of life, all ages, all educational and background experiences, and many varying communities. And at this time, band members, if you are Batavia residents, would you stand up? You are community members of other communities but are playing with us, would you stand up? Now for the rest of you that haven't seen the light and are not playing with us yet, how many of you are parents of either current Batavia band students or former band students? Stand, you gotta stand up too. My last category is how many of you were actual Batavia band students when you were growing up here? Once a teacher, always a teacher. Gotta find this stuff out. Our common thread is the love of playing beautiful music. When the band was created in 2013, the purpose was to give musicians a chance to play in a great band once again, even if it has been years since they played their instrument. Many members say that coming to band rehearsal is one of the things they do each week for themselves. For most of them, picking up their instrument once again, was a bucket list item that they have been looking forward to for many years. When we are playing, we all feel like we're back in school, blending our talents to create a beautiful sound. We have about 40 active members, but we can always use more players. Plug. So if any of you were in band like ours or would like to play in a band, why don't you come talk to me after the evening is over. I would be the guy standing in a red shirt down there. Thank you again for honoring us. We hope you enjoyed our Brieflow concert before. Our next performance will be at the Memorial Day at VFW to honor our veterans, followed by the June 14th Flag Day, groundbreaking for the for the Flag Day Monument at the Riverwalk. And Batavia is blessed with excellent music programs in our schools and our churches. And I know that for a fact. We are also proud now to be able to offer a wonderful music experience for our entire community, regardless of age or background. We are Batavia's community band, and thank you so much for this great honor.
Community, that's the difference. We do live in a great community. Okay, so we have what we call our impact awards, our community impact awards. And it's kind of like the Spirit Award, but it's new. It started last year. We had a couple initiatives come out of residents. One was the Peace Rally that was held at the park down by Peg Bond. And the other one was an initiative called Serving Our Servants, which was born out of the pandemic. Taking care of the kids. Yeah, I got that completely wrong. It was close. Give me effort. Yeah, okay. All right, anyway. So that being said, what we wanted to recognize and what we've noticed, there are a lot of people, a lot of individuals and small groups of people that have just stepped up when they feel like they see a need. They see a need, they fill a need, right? And we wanted to recognize that. So we're going to give this award out to two people tonight. The first one, for her vaccine initiative, is Erin Klutz. And we're going to roll the video first.
My name is Erin Klutz, and I am a Batavia community member. Been here since about 2013. Live here with my husband, our two boys. And I'm just very grateful to be here with the Chamber, and I'm grateful for this award and to really recognize not just myself, but all of the kindness that the ordinary citizens of our town have kind of done collectively to help people to get vaccinated and to be able to move on with their lives. And I appreciate that really being recognized, since it was very much a collective effort. I didn't intend to set out to get several hundred or however many people vaccinated. I just wanted to get my parents vaccinated. I wanted my parents to be able to safely see our kids and get together with myself, my brother. We got together for Christmas in 2020, and my kids had been attending in-person school, and we didn't have vaccines yet, and I had no way of knowing if my kids had been exposed to COVID, and I would have never been able to forgive myself if my parents had been exposed to COVID when we went to their home for Christmas. So we got there, we all wore our masks, we ate in separate rooms. My dad thought it was kind of a silly thing, and that was really a reflection to me that because of his age, because of his health, he was really high risk and didn't quite understand why he was so high risk and why we were working so hard to protect him, and why it was really hard for him to keep a mask on, not because he was like anti-mask or refusing, but because of his age and health conditions. It was hard for him. So I knew at that time in December of 2020 that I really needed to get him, and my mom as well, vaccinated as soon as possible. So that's what I set out to do. I didn't set out to do anything else. I just got my parents into the Tinley Park Convention Center. They were living at the time in Cook County. Posted that on Facebook. So it kind of just spiraled into this project that I didn't intend to do, but it just evolved out. It started with this simple mission of getting my parents vaccinated. It really did start on Facebook. I just posted something about how I was so glad my parents were vaccinated, or they were getting vaccinated, or I just got them an appointment or something. Kathy Friedland, who of course is the best yoga instructor ever, and she had reached out and was talking about how she really wanted to get her husband vaccinated, and of course herself, but she was more focused on him initially. And I found them appointments. Something opened up in Tinley Park, and I texted her. I think I had her cell phone number and was like, call me right away. I don't have your address, your date of birth, all this stuff. We got him an appointment. And then I said, wait, there's more appointments available. Then I got her an appointment. They were like several hours apart. They didn't care. They were relieved because of health reasons and wanting to see their grandkids out in Utah, I think it is, and they've got other grandkids locally. But then Kathy, being a very well-connected person with the yoga classes, and she was doing an amazing job as a helper at the time too. So she was very well-connected during the course of all of this by her sending out these videos, and that they were all posted on the Park District site so anyone could access them. And so a lot of people know Kathy through that. And so kind of one thing led to another where Kathy got involved, or not really got involved, but people know Kathy and said, hey, how did you get that appointment? And Kathy would say, hey, would you mind if I sent this person to you, or do you have time? Would you do this maybe? And then she's with the Park District. That kind of evolved into like the Senior Citizens Club, which is part of the Park District. One thing led to another, and I kind of got to know the whole Batavia Senior Citizens Club. And Robin, who was running it, she became very involved through the Park District connection through the Senior Citizens Club, helping people to know how to get in touch with me. And then she also was able to connect with some of the other seniors in that group who were a bit more tech savvy. I was juggling work and parenting through a pandemic, and so I couldn't talk on the phone with everyone. So some of the people in the Park District Senior Citizens group said, I'll get a list of names together for you, and I'll send them. I'll get all their information, and we'll just do it by text. Kane County Sheriff's Office got involved. I called Ron Hain, the sheriff. They took care of several people by providing transportation. It was just a really a collective effort within the community of so many branches of the community. So, whether it was the mayor, the sheriff, the receptionist at the Park District building who was printing something, or the yoga teacher at the Park District building, or the director of the Batavia Senior Citizens Club, or I'm sure I'm forgetting other people, and I'm going to regret that if I forget people, but this was just really some ordinary people in our community doing some pretty simple things that each thing along the way didn't seem like a really big deal. It seemed like a small thing. But when you put it all together, it's just a pretty amazing community effort that to me really reflects like what can ordinary people do to help their community to have an impact. You don't need to have any big fancy title or anything. You just have to do what you're able to do. And I guess that's the gist of it, just the impact you can have on your community by taking ordinary, kind steps. So whatever that thing is that you're doing that seems like a small, ordinary task, just do it with kindness, and do it knowing that you just never know the impact that you're having on someone.
Our next award winner initiated the Batavia Counselor Collaboration, Maria Kuhn. Thank you, and we're going to roll a video, then you can come on up. So let's roll that video.
Hello, I am Maria Kuhn. I'm the president and owner of Kuhn Counseling Center. And today I'm talking to you about the Batavia Counselors Collaboration and how excited we are to be invited here to receive this award. When in May that Restore Illinois was announced and introduced by the governor, I began to realize that the impact was going to be rather serious on communities. And I was already hearing that several of the agencies, as far as Aurora, as far as Elgin, and even in Geneva, the Tri-Cities, the non-for-profit ones were already not handling the demands they were experiencing. So I decided to reach out to the chamber. I'd been a member in Batavia, and I thought maybe they would help me figure out what we could do. And that's exactly what happened. Margaret and I had a conversation, and as we invited people to that table, the response was amazing. I was really happy. Very quickly, there were 8 or 9 individuals and companies that were just dealing in mental health that had joined our table. And we began a series of weekly meetings and began to contact and reach out to the chamber and invite all the major organizations. We talked to the police, we talked to education, we talked to the church leadership, we talked to the non-for-profit companies to find out what they were needing and how we could help. And that's really how the Batavia Counselors Collaboration gave birth. The first thing we designed was the resource booklet, and that took all the behavioral people that we could identify, and we could put it together and enable those resources to become immediately available to the community. The next thing we did was begin to put posters in any of the businesses around, encouraging people to begin to talk and that we were here to listen. And there wasn't a business that said no to it. We invited Aurora University social work who had a need to place interns during the pandemic, and we encouraged our leadership, the members of our committee, to look and see if they couldn't help us out by taking these interns, thus making services readily available. The educators said that they would really like to have some tools that they could get out into the community. We were particularly focused in the first round of town halls about how to handle the holidays. So tools that would help people accept what they were dealing with, and tools for what they could do to deal with both the social isolation and the fear of this disease. We were dealing with a disease with mounting deaths, and people were very, very scared about how to protect themselves from it. BATV stepped up and really worked with us. Matter of fact, we did the first town hall in the high school, and it was in that high school that day that I saw what the high school theater group had put together. And so what those kids were doing on those shorts that they had done had kind of rang in my mind to see these artists, young artists, trying to express what was going on. So BATV not only filmed us, prepped it, ran it throughout Batavia, but also then got it out to the larger community. And it was really quite a wonderful collaboration. Because, of course, therapists aren't necessarily noted for public speaking or town halls, and they were very good in helping us really step up to the opportunity. And so we reached out to the theater department at Batavia, and they made available to us the student work, and that work would be a cornerstone. We took their work as if they were a member of the town hall. Whenever we were addressing a question, they either set the theme or they helped us process what had already been talked about. And again, Batavia TV was absolutely instrumental in helping us, because they put that together. It was an attempt to once again speak to the community about where we were and that the emotions we were now beginning to feel, and the frustrations, and how to process the loss, and the students, and how to go from that loss to hope. And they joined us in that endeavor through their art. While today we don't meet as intensely, we see ourselves as a mental health consortium that will continue to find ways to service the community. Some of our conversations that lead to the future, we have certainly wondered about maybe eventually having a volunteer counselor going to some calls in the community, just as there's a minister assigned to assist the police department. Beginning to look at ways that we can deal with the pandemic's impact, seen with an increase of frustration, and finding a way to help process that, to really continue to make resources available and discussing with the business people how we can help. I've been so impressed with the generosity of the people of Batavia at big levels and at little levels. I think what we are going to have to be ready to do is, sadly, this pandemic is not done with us. And we're going to have to find a way to keep talking with one another, and when we have to change our life for a little while to deal with it, that we work together and support one another to do exactly that. I would like to thank everyone who has become part of the Batavia Counselors Collaboration. And I would like to particularly thank the Chamber and Margaret for taking my call to make this happen.
No, we're not doing it.
A little. It's interesting, Mr. Mayor, I'm addressing you about that phone call from the mayor of Stone. And I was thinking about this legally and organizationally, we're the city of Batavia, but practically we're the community of Batavia, right? And that's shown here tonight, and that's why this is called Inspired, because it's just fun. It's awesome to see people that just step up. Okay, moving on to our ambassadors. Our ambassador of the year. And we're running ahead of schedule. I would like that stated for the record. We are running ahead of schedule. Until Mike Burke comes on. Okay, the Ambassador Program's mission is to develop a core group representative of the Batavia Chamber membership for the purpose of supporting and promoting a sound business environment through successful retention of members and attraction of new members. Active participation in Chamber of Commerce events, creation and implementation of ideas to ensure organizational strength and facilitate growth, and establishment of a rapport among the ambassadors that serves the Chamber by an example of integrity and goodwill amongst the entire membership. So I'm going to ask Mike Burke, our 2020 winner, to come up to award the 2021 award.
Thank you all for coming. To be an ambassador for the Chamber is such an honor. We get to talk to all of our township and our people and our businesses and get to promote them and ensure their, support them and ensure that their businesses are supported through our chamber members and the chamber. So I just want to say that it is an honor to be a chamber ambassador and to announce the winner of the Chamber Ambassador of the Year. She is an amazing woman who is the face of Batavia. She owns Welcome Home Batavia and comes to homes and delivers information to new residents and allows them the opportunity to share the wealth of Batavia and our town. And without further ado, I would like to announce the Ambassador of the Year, Jenny Zach.
All right. Once again, schedule. So we're going to this is our last but best part of the night, where we get to celebrate a person who embodies really what it means to be a Batavian. That person that just shows up everywhere and serves our community in one way or another, because it's just the right thing to do. Saw a little bit of that tonight already, right? So tonight we get to celebrate Dan Hofler. And as you can see, and as you can see by the people that have shown up, it's long overdue. So to get this started, I'd like to ask Jack Hingelong to come up and say a few words about Dan. So Jack, come on up.
Good evening. I, along with others, are here to celebrate Dan's selection as Batavia Citizen of the Year. Let me start by telling you how I first met Dan. It was a Memorial Day in the mid-70s, and I was invited to the Paddocks pool party. When I arrived, there was this man dressed as Uncle Sam, red, white, and blue outfit. I was a little taken aback because no one else was in costume. This made me wonder, who is this guy? And what kind of person is he? Well, over the years, I've gotten to know Dan more deeply and have become great friends with he. In preparing to write this speech, I wanted to focus on Dan the person, for it is his character that comes out in the deeds that he has done. In education, there is a program, 6 Pillars of Character, used to teach ethical values to students, to develop a positive school climate and a culture of kindness to make schools a safe environment for student learning. I'm going to use this framework to talk about Dan. The first pillar is trustworthiness. This involves being honest, having integrity, do what you say you're going to do, keeping promises, being loyal, and standing by your values. Dan has displayed this pillar when he served as an alderman in the 3rd Ward, volunteering in youth sports and Boy Scouts, leadership on the Batavia Historical Society Board, and in Rotary Club. The second pillar is respect. This involves following the golden rule, accepting of differences, being courteous to others, dealing peacefully with anger, insults, and disagreement, and being considerate of others' feelings. This is exemplified by Dan's work with students in education as a teacher, administrator, and student council sponsor. Those of you who have worked with Dan on various committees and volunteer activities have also seen this in action. The third pillar is responsibility. This involves doing what you are supposed to do, trying your best, persevering, being self-disciplined, thinking before you act, considering the consequences, and being accountable for your words, actions, and attitude. Dan displayed this during his presidency of the Rotary Club and leadership of the Batavia Depot Expansion Committee, as well as his leadership in volunteer activities at the Batavia Episcopal Church. The fourth pillar is fairness. This involves playing by the rules, taking turns and sharing, being open-minded, listening to others, and not taking advantage of others. This is displayed in his work as city alderman, president of the Rotary, and other leadership roles he has held. The fifth pillar is caring, which involves being kind, compassionate, expressing gratitude, and forgiving others. One example that stands out is Dan's active engagement in the fiber of the Batavia Episcopal Church by serving in leadership positions on numerous committees over the years, as well as volunteering to support the church's activities. My favorite activity was 5B's barbecue. Each spring, Dan held, organized, sold tickets, cooked, and served meals for this event to raise money for the church's outreach activities. The sixth pillar is citizenship, which involves sharing to make your community better, cooperating, staying informed and voting, being a good neighbor and making choices and protecting the safety and rights of others. Dan has assisted families who have lost loved ones or suffered from illness with food cards to ease their burdens. Dan has actively worked on community referendums and publicly supported candidates. Dan has worked to make our community a better place. In closing, I share a quote from Theodore Roosevelt in his speech entitled Citizenship in a Republic, found in The Man in the Arena by Tom Brady, that summarizes Dan's involvement in our community. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doers of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deed? Who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. So that this place shall never be the cold and timid souls who never victory nor defeat. Congratulations, Dan, on your selection as Batavia Citizen of the Year.
Thank you, Jack, for those words. I think we're going to go to our video now, correct?
Think about something that's going on in this town, and there's a good chance that Dan's involved in it in some way. I know him through the Historical Society, I know him through Rotary, and there is just no shortage of goodness in Dan's heart. He supports local efforts, he's very engaged in the community, he's a past member of the City Council, he's a past president of Rotary, the current president of the Batavia Historical Society. He's very engaged at Calvary Episcopal Church. Just whenever you want to see something good in town, there's a good chance that Dan is a part of it. He's just an incredible inspiration.
I want to say that I think that Dan Hofler is well deserving of the recognition of being named Person of the Year in Batavia. Dan has been very involved in all kinds of activities in service to the community, directly serving in City Council in the past and also on Planning Commission. And he has done just a lot of things through Rotary, and been very involved at Calvary in the 20 plus years that I've been there. I can't think of a time when he was not in some way or other being supportive of the ministry of the place and carrying it out in a variety of ways. So I think that this honor is well deserved.
Hi Dan, it's Tom here. You really deserve this, and it chokes me up because I know what goes through one of these programs, and you filled all the boxes, and you deserve this. I can't remember when we first met. I don't know whether it was at a Rotary meeting or a Historical Society meeting or out at NIU football game, but my first impression of you was that you were dedicated, high integrity, and committed to all that you do. And since then, I have not been disappointed in it. Your leadership in various organizations that serve the community, city council, aldermen, being president of the Historical Society, president of Rotary at one time, your expansion, the depot expansion chairmanship, and religiously with your church, Calvary Church on the council. Those all play a big factor in making Batavia what it is today, and your leadership has done a great job with that.
Well, first off, what I'd like to do on behalf of my wife Karen and I, and we've known the Hoflers for better than 45 years now, is to congratulate you, Dan, on this honor and this achievement. Certainly well deserved without question, and we're very happy for you and your entire family. Dan Hofler pretty much has his fingerprints, I think, all over the community of Batavia. And I mean, you could not have picked the perfect guy. This fella is Mr. Batavia. You know, Dan Hofler doesn't work anymore. You know, he's a retired educator. He can bounce around wherever he'd like to go and do whatever he'd like to do. But he chooses to stay connected with his community in so many different ways. I mean, certainly he is an asset to Batavia. He's certainly a gentleman that, you know, when I stop and think about it, when they first asked me to say a couple of words, I'm trying to put together some of the thoughts I wanted to try to expand, and some of the traits that I know about Dan. And some things came to mind, some adjectives. I mean, trustworthy and friendly, and he's courteous, and he's loyal as the Dickens can possibly be. And as I wrote these down, I began to sense that I'd seen them somewhere before. And then so I went trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous. He's kind, obedient, well, most of the time. You can ask Pat about that. Cheerful, thrifty, brave, yeah, clean, and reverent. I'm thinking, I've seen these before somewhere. And as it turns out, that's the Boy Scout law. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. All 12 points. And he pretty much fits those to a T. You might take a little exception with Brave. I'm not sure there. I've not seen him in that venue. But what the Chamber has done, I think you've turned around, you've nominated, and you've selected the adult version of a Boy Scout for this honor.
He's been very visible in the project to expand the Batavia Depot Museum. That's been going on for a long time. You know, the museum had run out of space years ago, and Dan stepped up. I'm going to say probably 5 or 6 years ago. He took charge of the expansion project. So if there's been any person who's almost single-handedly kept that project going through some very difficult years, it's been Dan. If it weren't for him, that would have been derailed years ago. And he's a retired history teacher, so I mean, there's a passion there. So, you know, there's a reason for that, besides the fact that the guy just has this heart of gold and will help with just about anything that you need a hand with.
Being involved with the Batavia Historical Society, being the president of it, and guiding them to, you know, in their expansion program, just shows that how concerned he is that history not be lost, and that it be understood too as part of what makes us what we are today. And at the church, I've been trying to get him to be our archivist, so maybe I can guilt him into this right now. But you know, that when somebody has been around for a long time but doesn't use that as a point of privilege, but can reference how things have been done and who's done what and all of those kinds of things in order to help us be better at what we're doing in the here and now. That's something that I appreciate very much.
And all of these various activities that he has involved himself in within Batavia, he doesn't do because he has to. He does because he wants to. And here's the real kicker. I mean, here's the real benefit. Dan Hoefler, whenever he sets himself out to do something, when he's done with that particular project, I can guarantee you that that particular project is much better off than it was when he first found it, without question. This is a love of life, and it's a love of his community for Dan Hoefler.
Well, I just am privileged that I get to be the pastor of somebody like Dan and Pat, just because of who they are, what they give, and how they do it.
When you've been together 45 years, as we have, his family, my family, the expanded family, as he had 2 sons and I had 2 daughters, and we grow together and we share in each other's activities, and it's just dinners. Sometimes we just get together and watch movies down in the basement. You learn a lot about people, and what I've learned about Dan Hoefler is you go back to those traits: that trustworthy, loyal, helpful, and so on and so forth. And you dine together, you laugh together, you share the joys, you share the disappointments in life. We've done that for the past 45 years, and you even mourn together from time to time. And I can truthfully say that Batavia made a terrific choice, and personally for me, Dan Hoefler is got to be one of the best friends I've ever had on this planet.
And all I can say is, Dan, I've learned a lot from you. I've learned a lot about what it is to be a citizen of a community, and as has everyone else in the Rotary Club, we've all benefited from your involvement and your engagement, and a lot of what we do is the result of your leadership and your example of what it's like to be a good citizen of Batavia and the surrounding community. So I want to congratulate you on your award, being Citizen of the Year. It's well deserved. And I want to thank you for the leadership and the mentoring that you've provided to many of us over the years. We're all better because we've gotten to know you. So congratulations, Dan, and hope the string of luck continues.
You're an individual who is dedicated and gives more of himself in every project without seeking any accolades or any recognition for what you do. Dan, it's a pleasure to work with you. Your leadership has inspired me also, and I couldn't think of a better person to receive Batavia's 2021 Citizen of the Year. Dan, you're a good friend, and lest we forget, behind every great man is a great woman, your wife, Pat.
I'd like now to ask our mayor, the Honorable Jeffrey Schilke, to come up and share some remarks about Dan.
Well, first of all, obviously I am in total agreement that the selection of Dan was about the best decision the Chamber of Commerce could make in this regard. I got a little story I want to tell. Everything nice that could be said about Dan has just been said, so I don't need to sit here and repeat somebody else's comments. I would like to tell the story going back to probably about December of 1980, 41 years ago. I was working as a radio news reporter for Jack Brickhouse over at radio station WGSB in St. Charles, and I was covering the Batavia City Council meetings where probably one of the more younger aldermen ever to be elected to the City Council was there representing the northwest side of Batavia. And there were some very problematic moments at that time. I don't even want to get into them, but there was a lot of I'll describe it as hellfire and damnation had taken place in the city council. And there was a lot of people that wanted to see a change in the city administration. And so I think most of the aldermen on the city council at the time said, ooh, not me, I don't want to get involved in this. And so the word got out that the two people that were being pointed to as potential candidates were Dan Hofer and Jeff Schelke. And so Dan and I had a meeting one night, I think it was after the city council meeting, and discussed this whole situation. And I said, well, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And he said, well, he didn't either. So then about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days later, he called me and he asked me to come over to his house he was living on North Jefferson Street. And I went over and went in and sat down on the couch. And he says, well, you know, I'm in education. I think I have my handle on a pretty good job that I may want to take. And my wife and I are having a family. And he says, I just got a lot of stuff going on here, so I got to step out of this mayor's conversation. And he says, I'll support you if you run. And so that was kind of, there wasn't anybody else I could turn to and say, well, why don't you join in? So I ended up being the candidate, and I got elected, and I've been there ever since. So I guess what I wanted to share is that in this last 41 years that I have had the honor of being the mayor of Batavia, if there was always a face in the room when the good thing was going to happen that I could count on being there, i.e. the construction of the Riverwalk, which took many years in downtown Batavia, but Dan was a continuous force there. When we were talking about building the interfaith food pantry and the clothes closet, Dan was a face in that crowd. And more recently, as it's already been mentioned, when the Historical Society is trying to determine their future as far as the museum and working with the Park District and that, Dan's face has been in the leadership role. And so his leadership has really perhaps had as much of a dynamic impact in our town as probably anybody I can think. And it's just because he never went away. He always stayed there. He continued to want to be a force to be heard and understood. And my observation would be he was always on the good side of the argument. He constantly was there to do what was the right thing to do, to help people, to understand what was going on. And he kept, you know, there were times he and I would share a criticism or an observation about something, but it probably stopped there and we never went any further. So I'm honored today to be here, to be the one, I guess there's 2 awards left up here on the table. Dan's going to get 2 awards tonight. He's going to get the Citizen of the Year Award. And there is a second award that I've been asked to present to him by the board of the Batavia Historical Society for his leadership in what has probably been one of the more, I'll call it politically tainted, wild and willy times that we've had in the many 160, 70 years of Batavia history, because a lot of different people with different ideas, and you know, I think there's a lot of sensitivity toward the public good and the public well-being, and Dan has been there to represent that. So the last thing I'd just like to say is as the mayor of Batavia, rather recently, within the last 2 or 3 years, I've gotten calls from other mayors wanting to know what's kind of the secret in Batavia. Why do you have all these things that you do and seem to be able to pull off? I had one call me and ask me, is it really true that Batavia's had a 4th of July fireworks show for 71 years and not a dime of taxpayer money has ever been spent to buy the fireworks? And I said, yes, that is true. Well, how do you do that? I said, well, it gets into the heart and the face of the people you got in the community and what they want to do. And so more recently, I've heard from the Mayor of Rosemont, the Mayor of Barrington, and this past week, I've been on the phone twice with the newly elected mayor in Evanston, who has all kinds of Batavia questions because he's heard so many interesting things about how we get things done by involving so many people. And I told him, well, tonight I was coming to a dinner and we were going to honor one of those people who really, really has made a difference in town just by being a concerned citizen and a top-notch nice guy. To which the Mayor Biss says to me, well, I'm going to have to look around Evanston to see if I can find me that person. So, do we want to bring him up tonight, or? Dan, you want to come up? present to you the Batavia 2021 Citizen of the Year Award, and most deserving. And then on behalf of the Batavia Board of Historical Society, I have a little plaque they put together as appreciation for all your good efforts from the Batavia Historical Society. Thank you again, Jeff. Thank you.
I guess what Jeff was trying to say is it's my fault. When you think about it. It is true. Several years ago, I had the honor of being the keynote speaker for the Brotherhood Banquet. And if you know Bob Nelson, he did the introduction that night. And he said the smartest thing I ever did was to marry a Batavia girl. And to make Batavia my home. Bob was right. So I want to acknowledge a special thanks to my wife, Patricia, who's always understood and shared my conviction that a community is healthiest when its resources are equally shared, such as in Batavia, which makes our community a desirable place to live. I know the long hours I spent working on behalf of helping others have tested you at times, especially when I come home late or I'm gone again. Remarkably, she continues to support and love me. For that, I'll always be grateful. I grew up in an urban landscape, Chicago. You might have heard of it. And while the city has many great attributes and neighborhoods, it was a typical upbringing. My neighborhood was normal. I had a neighborhood where everybody knew everyone. Typical American upbringing. Sometimes when you got into trouble, there was always somebody out there watching over you, especially when my parents weren't around. So when I met Pat and I heard of what it was like to grow up in Batavia, I knew the path my life would take. Moving to Batavia fired my imagination and captured my heart. That's what can happen when you commit to a cause or a place. It changed the trajectory of my life and my family's. I found out that the new people I met understood what's at stake. It was why they gave their precious time and choose to fight through long days and nights to see the possibilities of what can be accomplished for the community. My wife's family and many of their friends were some of the people who had formed that bond with Batavia. And as I got to meet and know them, I found a deep respect for them, and they inspired me to also want to belong to Batavia. There are many who I wish could be present today due to their remarkable impact on my life, and some of them were previous Citizens of the Year: Virginia Babcock, Jim Hansen, and especially Georgine Kaufman-Dwyer. I am pleased, honored, and humbled to accept the Citizen of the Year award and to join past recipients who I have long admired and respected. Thank you to those who have nominated me and supported the nomination. And my thanks to my family and friends for supporting me in being here this evening. And again, thanks to the Chamber, especially to Margaret, Patty, and Shirley. Over the past couple of years, as the pandemic was challenging our lives and our community, I had the privilege with the Batavia Historical Society to record interviews to preserve for future generations the various ways as to how Batavia was responding to this crisis. As I listened to our leaders from many walks of life describe their challenges of what they faced, I reflected that when I first became involved by volunteering, that nothing had really changed from those earlier leaders. Batavia has been blessed with strong leaders who knew that the fruits of their labor would make a tangible impact. That is why Pat and I continue to support the civic, educational, spiritual, artistic, recreational, and nonprofit institutions in our community. Our volunteer leaders also continue that tradition by using time and talent to lend a helping hand and to show kindness and caring that makes the greatest difference in the lives touched by our generosity. I know there are many in this audience this evening who are just as deserving for their volunteerism as I am. So whether you're a long-term volunteer or just recently became involved It is important that what you do does make a difference, and it does get appreciated. So I'm extremely honored to be receiving such an important award as Citizen of the Year. Again, this recognition would not have been possible without the inspiration I've received from so many over the years, allowing us to face our challenges together. And as the great Muhammad Ali famously is quoted, service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. Thank you.
That was truly an inspiration. Dan, your community adores you. I want to invite all the previous Citizens of the Year up for a photo with Dan. I know I'm going to miss a couple, so remind me. We have Bob and Sue Peterson, Tom Von Noonan, Britta and Steve McKenna, Roger Bryce, Carla Hill. Did they say Bob Hansen? Bob Hansen, Marcia Boyce. What? Who else? What other? Joanne Spitz, Nan Phillips. I knew. Thank you. I'm working without a list, so thank you for your support. Any others that I missed? We have a wonderful community, and I'm so thankful so many of the prior Citizens of the Year can join us tonight and show their support for Dan. It's a wonderful community. I do want to point out, it is not the Chamber that selects the Citizen of the Year. It is a committee of all the prior Citizens of the Year that consider nominations. So Dan was a wonderful selection. All right, one more round of applause for our Citizens of the Year. Well, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the evening. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. We are going to have the Jazzeros proceed with music, and I hope that you guys can stay and mingle and congratulate our award winners. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be around. But thank you all. Proceed with your evening. Enjoy.